How's it going, everybody? I'm here to show you what I did to customize that Lightning Collection Green Ranger figure. I'm not going to make a long video, so during the process I'm going to pause the video, and then when I'm done doing what I have to do, I'm going to unpause the video. I'm not going to record every little thing I'm going to do, so I don't make this video long. So here is the original Lightning Collection Green Ranger figure. White Dragon Dagger holder, unpainted bottom boots, silver on the helmet. I really like this helmet a lot because the paint job with the visor with the teeth is perfectly on there. There's a little bit of scuff marks, but that's okay since this is getting completely customized anyways. So I'm going to show you everything that I have so far. Those are the products I'm going to be using. That is the scratch remover I use. Now this scratch remover is actually like 5 years old. It's been sitting in our garage, so it's like more of a chalky texture instead of liquid. So I basically just moist it up to make it more of a paste. So imagine wet drywall. So it still worked. We got some alcohol for cleaning our hands. So when we spray paint or paint we actually didn't get on our hands, we could just clean it off really fast with the alcohol. This is the Nika Gold that I use for the Power Morpher. It almost kind of matches the shield. Fingernail polish remover. This is the best thing to use because if you're removing the paint and you spill some on the other paint, it won't really do nothing unless you scrub really hard to get that paint off. This is the best thing to use. This one or the blue one, don't matter. Yes, here is the paint I told you about. You're gonna laugh your ass off about. The Martha Stewart paint. We have matte black for the Dragon Dagger holder, red for the diamond, and we have glossy black for the bottom of the boots. And if you can see, it says fast dry, indoor, outdoor, and it says spray paint and primer. So yes, I bought Martha Stewart because I told you before in the last video, I think I said in the last video, I don't remember it, but I said that I didn't want to go to two stores. I was at Michael's at the time. I didn't want to go to another store looking for this paint, so I said, you know what, I'll just buy it. I tested it onto a piece of junk figure and it bonded well, so I decided to use it. You can get yourself a small little screwdriver, really tiny thin tip, so because you can get into those creases. Real thin tiny brush, that's for painting the morpher. Masking tape. You want to get some newspapers. There's some more newspapers right here. If you notice, I'm doing this in the kitchen because it's a bigger table. And paper plates, because you're going to use that to, you know, to spray paint and not really get on your hands. It works like a charm. You're going to get yourself an old piece of cloth. Right now I'm using this old blue t-shirt I got, and I've been using this to remove paint or, you know, clean my brushes or my hands. So let's get down to it. Now, also to help remove paint, what I'm talking about removing paint is where if you want to get into these creases, don't just use the screwdriver because you're going to scratch the shit out of it. What I do is I take cloth and I wrap it around the brush, just like so, and I dip it into the fingernail polish remover, and then I start getting inside those creases like this. Okay? So that's all I have to do this right now, so let's go ahead and start customizing this Green Ranger figure. Alright, so I'm going to take the helmet off. That's the first thing we're going to work on is this helmet. We're going to pop this sucker off. Now what I like to do is cover up the rest of this Green Ranger. So if I'm spray painting, you know, it makes like a mist or a cloud in the air, and it could eventually fall and you'll get sparkles all over the figure. So what I'm going to do is just get some newspaper, and I'm going to hide him in the newspaper. I'm just going to wrap it up. just tape it, and that's it. Just, you know, move them off to the side because, you know, I don't want to get paint on it. So I'm going to put them on top of my counter over here because I don't want to get paint on there whatsoever. How's it going, everyone? Oh, wrong channel. A little humor for you guys. That's my daughter's Jeffy puppet, by the way. She loves SML. So, alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask the helmet. I'm going to cover up the eyes. So, you want to take the masking tape and just cover above the eyes. Okay, you don't want to leave no black exposed. You just want to cover all that up. Make sure it's in the crease perfectly. And then you're going to take your finger and rub that in there. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and cover up the rest of the helmet. You're going to do the same thing. Screwdrivers really help to press the edges inside, so you want to get the screwdriver and like press that in there. Don't scratch, just press. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. And I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and finish this off and then unpause it. So I'll be right back. Alright, I masked off what I needed to mask off. If you got some tape on the silver part, don't worry about it. You just need to work around the eyes. And then after you get all that off, you can start like putting masking tape back around other parts. You just want to cover up the visor, the mouth, and the eyes because you're going to try to get all this off. So next step I'm going to do is I'm going to go get my cloth. I'm going to use this big ass shirt. More to use, more to work with. I don't know why I keep saying cloth. It's actually a goddamn t-shirt, but whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on my finger, and I'm going to start rubbing all this off. Now you can see I have that blocking the eyes, so I'm going to go ahead and start doing this, and you can see that the paint is coming off. Okay. Now you want to keep getting this fabric wet because, you know, nail polish remover kind of dries like faster than anything else. I don't know why. And I'm going to work on the other eye now. Now you don't want to soak it all up. You don't want to get the paint remover or whatever you're going to use. Me, it's fingernail polish into the creases. So you just want to start like scrubbing it, not soaking it. And you can see that I'm removing the paint easily around the eyes. Now I was going to avoid the red diamond, but I noticed that the paint job is really crappy on it, so I'm going to go ahead and just remove that completely because I'm going to repaint it. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and I'm going to finish this off and continue where I left off. Alright, so I'll be right back. Alright, I removed much as possible. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and pull the tape off. And you can see that the paint has been removed around the eyes and the eyes has not been touched. And I left all this exposed because we're going to go ahead and retape the visor and start working on this part next. And then I'm going to continue from there. Alright, you can see that I removed the tape and I got the paint off right here in the front part of the helmet. Now you can see there's still silver trim around here. And if you have fingernails, using your fingernails with cloth will help remove that paint. Around that creases of the eyes will be a little bit difficult to get to, but that's where the screwdriver will come in. So I'm going to show you real fast what I do. I take a cloth and I kind of fold it. So I have two layers, and I wrap it around a screwdriver, a real thin screwdriver, like this, and I grip it, okay, and then I dip it in there, okay, and I dip it into the fingernail polish remover, and I start getting inside the creases, okay. So that's what I do. And I also try to avoid touching any other part of the paint. But like I said, when it gets on your fingers, it kind of dries fast, so you don't really have to worry about that. But always be safe. Once again, dip this into your fingernail polish remover and start working inside the creases, and you'll be able to get all that silver trim off. So I'm going to pause the video and work on this, and I'll get back to you. Alright, we got the silver trim removed from the helmet. Now I noticed, see, it's more of a matte finish. I don't know if you could tell with the camera. The lighting might make it look like it's shiny. Well, there are some shiny parts, but mostly in the creases right here, that shine is gone. So that's where our toothpaste or the scratch remover is going to come into play, which help bring that shine. So unfortunately mine is really old. It's going to be really clumpy. Well, I got some liquid coming out, thank God. And I'm going to go ahead and use my blue t-shirt, and we're going to start buffing. I'm going to start buffing this out. Usually I do it like about 4 times. So make sure when you do this, do not get it over the paint and scrub that paint, because it will come off. I made a mistake by doing that with another figure, and I got the paint off. You just want to scrub over that area that all that matte finish looks like is at, so you can bring back that shine. Get the front part of the helmet. So I'm going to go ahead and do this real fast and come back to the video. And there you have it, completely the silver trim been completely removed. Let me go ahead and clean this chemical off of here. I left some residue left over from the scratch remover. Okay, there we go. There it is. Silver trim completely removed, even in the creases. Completely re-shined up. If you could tell, see how glossy it is on the camera. I did it like 5 times since it was liquid. And now I'm ready to paint this bad boy. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to just paint the diamond on here with the red spray paint. So I'm going to go ahead and mask this off. What I'm going to do is just leave the diamond exposed and then let it dry. Now this is fast drying paint, so I can actually remove I can actually pick this up and move it around because it dries pretty fast. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and then show you when it's done. Alright, it's been completely masked off. I used a screwdriver to push the edges of the tape into the plastic. I left that little diamond exposed right there. So I'm going to get a paper plate, and I'm going to get some masking tape, and I'm going to tape this down to the plate so it won't move. Okay, leave that exposed. And now I'm going to go ahead and spray paint this. I'm going to use another sheet of newspaper so I don't mess up my little workstation. So let me go ahead and do this real fast. Okay. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is spray. I'm going to shake this up, spray a couple times here, and then rotate it, get the other side, and the other side. Now if it looks too dark, you want to try to get it bright as possible, but you don't want to make it too clumpy or it won't stick. And then you're going to let that dry for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry, and I'm going to come back to the video. Alright, I'm back. I removed it, reshined it, repainted. So hopefully it did not mess up. If it did, I'll just repeat the process again. Like I said, the diamond part, it will get gloppy if you don't paint it right, but honestly the diamond part is the most pain in the ass there is to do. So you're going to be like, why don't you just paint it manually? Well, like I said, it won't look right manually. I mean, it's just spraying it with the airbrush or spray paint is a lot more better, makes everything more even. So hopefully it came out really good. If not, I'll be doing it again. What's best about this masking tape, man, it doesn't really stick, like gets stuck on there. I mean, it comes off perfectly. Scotch masking tape works the best, guys, so use that. And holy crap, and there it is, completely painted nice and neat. I really like how that came out. That looks really great. It's even like a bright red too. It's not like bright red like this, but it's a good color red, and it's really came out really good, and I'm really happy with it. Sorry, I left the camera angle, guys. I'm looking at my fingers instead of the camera lens. So yeah, it came out pretty good. Safe to the touch. Now I wouldn't want to touch this for like 48 hours. It's fast drying, of course. It dries like in minutes, but to get the paint to bond, you want to leave it for 45 minutes so you could keep continuing your customizing. Or if you want to keep continuing now, just make sure you don't like keep touching it. So usually I let this dry for about an hour so I could continue on masking that off, because if I put masking tape on that paint right now and I peel it off, it's gonna chip some of that paint off and take it off. So I advise not to do that right now, because the next step we're going to do is the edges of the helmet, or you could just leave it the way it is. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and take a break. Working on this. I have to go take care of something right now, and we're going to get back to the helmet part when I get back. So I'll be right back, you guys, and we'll continue on from here. I let it dry for about 45 minutes, but I still don't trust the masking tape. I don't want to put it over the diamond and then peel that tape off and then the paint peels off. So I never had that problem before. This is the third one I did, and I put the tape over it, and you know, it didn't peel it off. But I kind of remembered, then I was like, wait a minute, the reason why the paint didn't get peeled off, because when I painted the diamond, I let it sit for about 2 hours while I was working on the other parts of the figure, and then came back to it. But since I'm filming this video, I'm going to do everything at once. So just on the safe side, I put newspaper covering that diamond, and I put tape to stick it in place, and I'm still going to avoid touching it. So you want to let this paint set for about 42 to 72 hours before you start playing with it. If you are playing with toys or you're giving it to a kid, if you play with toys, you got a problem. Anyways, don't be like that kid from, you know, that YouTube show, which I'm not going to mention. But yeah, so if you're going to give it to a kid, just let it dry for 72 hours. That's my advice to you. But if you're just going to put on a shelf to pose, you could just put it on the shelf and it will dry when it's on display. So we're going to mask the rest of this off. Now, to do these corners, it's going to be really hard to, you know, line it up with the tape. So what I want you guys to do when you do this is that you want to get some masking tape, and you want to cut like rounded shapes like this, so you can put it around there a lot more better, if you can see that. Okay, so you want to keep cutting pieces and round all this stuff off, and then leave the mouth exposed, and you could just spray paint it real fast. I forgot to show you the paint I use for the mouth. It's called Diamond Dust. It's lacquer, all-in-one paint. I forgot to bring that down when I started this video, so now you know what kind of paint I use for that. So I'm going to go ahead and mask this helmet off, and I'm going to show you when it's done, And you know, I might even just record me spraying it real fast. Now, when you spray paint it, you don't want to make a big gulp because you do not want to cover up that design of the mouth. So you want to do it gently. Don't leave big gulps in there because number one, it will get rid of that design of the mouth. Number two, it'll be gulpy. And number three, when it's gulpy, it won't dry. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now, and I'll get back to you. Alright, I'm back. I finished the masking, left the mouthpiece open. You see where the green is. That's going to get covered in silver. Tucked it in so the upper visor of the helmet will still be green. You want to get a screwdriver and make sure you press that into the plastic. Like so, rub it in there. And I had to do some, this is the hardest part because you have to like cut and round it off perfectly. So we're going to, of course, use our paper plate or whatever you guys want to use. We're going to tape the helmet down. Okay. Use our little template here. Shake this can all up. Get the phone out the way. And test sprays. Okay. And what we're going to do is like this. You do not want to make big gulps because it'll ruin it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this right now. I'm going to use this shirt to cover up my hand. There we go. So I don't get paint on myself. Give it some test sprays. And get to the corners. Get to the other side. I don't see no, wait, there's a little bit more green right here. Checking it out. A little bit more right here. And there we go. Now we're going to go ahead and let that dry for like 5 minutes because that dries pretty fast. We're going to let it dry for 5 minutes and continue on from there. Been 5 minutes. It's not wet anymore. And we're going to go ahead and pull all the tape off. Just make sure you don't press the diamond and press the mouthpiece because, you know, you still want to avoid touching all that. So we're going to peel everything off. You don't want to peel off like really hard and just go and rip it all off because you don't want to do that. You want to try to peel it off nice and neat. And basically you want to peel it off the way you put it on. So you want to reverse everything. Just step by step. That came out great. That came out really great. I think it came out better than the last figure. Wow, that came out really nice. Really, really nice. Really beautiful. There you guys go. The Green Ranger helmet. Silver trim removed. New red diamond painted on. And new touch up in the mouthpiece, bringing that silver all the way close to the edge of the helmet, just like in the television show. We're going to mask off the boots, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now on camera, but I'm going to finish it off camera. And so here's your masking tape. You want to start off around the corner right here, and you want to put it against the edge right here, okay? And you want to press down. While doing that, you want to like move the tape around to like shape it around the crease of the bottom of his boots. So you're gonna kind of like tape it up and move the tape and move it around, and you want to do that all the way around, but you're not going to be able to get it in one piece. You might have to cut the piece and make another piece and continue on from there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, and when I get back to it, you're going to see me spray paint it. Now you have an option when you spray paint it, you can just brush inside of the hole right here to get all the black, or just try to spray paint it straight where the paint will get in there. And then, you know, just continue on from there, or just, you don't want to make it too gloppy or whatever. You just want to spray paint it correctly. I don't want to mess this up like I did with the other Green Ranger figure, and that's because of the ankle right here. Like, the tape kept rising off because of that little dention. So like I said, I have to pinch it tight, release, and spray paint real fast before that tape rises up. So I'm gonna go ahead and complete this right now, and then I'm gonna get back with you. I got the boots completely masked off. When you do it and you shape it around, you want to press it into the plastic. You want to get a nice tight stuck on filling onto there, because you don't want none of this paint to get inside the creases and then ruin the figure. So make sure it's just rubbed in nicely. And then you want to get yourself a piece of newspaper and cover up the rest of the figure, because you don't want to get no paint on it. You're going to probably do this multiple times, but you know, it's worth it. So we're going ahead and wrap this like this. You want to stick his feet out. Okay. We're going to go ahead and close this newspaper up. Now you want to spread his legs. Yeah, sounds funny, right? You want to tape around the legs, because you want to seal it all up. Okay, you don't want no creases or no holes, because you don't want none of that paint to get in there. So make sure you tape the newspaper into the legs like that. So bear with me, let me do this real fast. I'm not going to stop the video and unpause it just to do this. Okay. You want to seal it all up. This will even be faster. Alright, now we're ready to do some painting. This is where you're going to hold the figure up and do your painting. So you might get some paint on you. If you do, just do the alcohol and the cloth and get it all off. So we're going to use the gloss paint. Do a little test paint. Okay. Now this is where I told you about the ankle trick. You want to keep your thumb and your finger on the tape, because you want to press that back into the corner of the figure. And the reason why is because that will lift up, and when you spray paint it and it will lift up, it will get inside that little crease and get onto your boot. So give yourself one more round check. Stick everything into there. Okay, do the opposite side too, but you're not going to paint this right away. And then as soon as you release, start spray painting it. Okay, and that looks pretty good besides inside the hole. So there we go. On this side. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now we're going to let that dry for a few minutes and then work on the other boot. Or you could just work on the other. You know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do it now. So I'm going to go ahead and press up on this ankle again. Press it really hard, and then get inside that hole, the sides of it, the back of it, and that looks pretty damn good. Now you're not going to get in the hole completely. It kind of sounds perverted, don't it? But you know what? It's going to be camouflage. You won't really see it. And then we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry. Give it a little bit more touch up. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry for about 5 minutes before I peel off the tape. Maybe a little bit longer. Just be on that safe side. And then I'll get back to the video. So all we're going to do is just rip that off and just do that. I'm going to get the paper off of it and toss that to the side. Now we're going to undo the boots like we did. You're going to completely do it the opposite. So we're going to unwrap this tape. Don't put your fingers on the boot just yet. Okay, there's the other end right here. Wow, that actually came out really good. There's one side right there. Where is it? Find the edge, peel the rest off of it all. Okay, we have a little problem here. That little ink spot got inside, so before it dries completely, you want to get yourself a screwdriver and you want to start like trying to, it always happens on this side. I don't know why, but you just get yourself a screwdriver and start like peeling that off. Like that. Try to just do it little by little. You don't want to get all the way into the creases. So I'm going to go ahead and do this real fast and see if I can get that off. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I was able to fix that little error. Looks a lot more better. I noticed I had that little blue little shade effect again, but I used scratch remover and for some reason it got rid of it, and I was like, wow, maybe I should try that on the other figure that I use as a template. So, you know, the boots came out pretty damn good, if you can see. So that's how you get that done. Now, it always happens on these little creases of the boots right here. It always happens right there. I don't know why, because, you know, since there's a crease there, there's an opening with that tape. So I advise you guys, next time you mask and you cover all that up, you want to get your tape and like press it into the creases right here. I should have done that, but you know, I didn't do it over here and it worked out pretty well, so I guess the tape got stuck in there. So I know this always happens on this side, but I was able to, you know, scratch it off, use some I was able to scratch it off, use some fingernail polish remover, and got the rest of that off. But there's like a little bit more specks left. I didn't want to go to the extreme and getting really in there because I don't want to remove the rest of that paint. But you know, I'm happy with it. It's okay. Now what we're going to do is work on the Dragon Dagger holder. So there's going to be a lot more masking tape. I got some, you know, that's actually, that little mark you see is coming from these damn newspapers. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and just get some regular plain paper, because I noticed it was getting on the boots and I had to use remove the fingernail polish remover to get it off. So I'm going to go upstairs, get some white paint, some white paper. I'm going to stop using these newspapers, and I'll get back with you and we'll start working on the Dragon Dagger holder. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. I'm starting to mask this figure because we're going to start doing the Dragon Dagger holder. You want to wipe this completely clean from the back to the front, to the sides with nail polish remover. You want to get any type of coating that's on there off. Let me put this tape back on real fast. Okay. Now I put tape here so I don't rub off the gold from the power coin. Also, like I said before, I might try to spray paint the morpher. But I'm not going to do none of that unless I know for sure I can make stuff to cover that design up. So let's get on with the masking tape. There is a part right here underneath this morpher. That's the belt. You want to cover that up, not this, just that. That is a little bit of a pain in the ass to do, but eventually you will get it. You just want to take that tape and you just want to start pushing it in there like that. I don't know if you can see me, but you just want to push that tape in there until you cover up that belt. You're not going to get it 100% perfect, but keep moving it around until you're happy with it. Let's try this again. Let's flip this around. And sorry. Use that screwdriver and try to push that in there to cover up that bottom part of the belt. So I'm going to do this real fast, pause the video, and I'll get back to you when it's done. We're on the next step here, painting the Dragon Dagger holder. I'm going to cover my hand up with my oak shirt. I'm going to shake. This is the matte finish one. You always want to spray paint away from the stuff first and give it a test because you don't want no bubbles or whatever. So first step you want to do is you want to get the back of it. Okay, you want to get the back of this. So you want to pull this down and hold it down, and then as soon as you're ready, release it and start spray painting it, because you want to get all this before that rises up. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We're gonna let it go, and now flip it around and get the rest of it. Okay, now you want to try to get a little bit inside of the holder, but not completely. And then that should be it. Give it one more coat right here. And now we're going to let this dry for about an hour because I need to get ready. I have to go pick up my kid. And when we come back, I'll finish this off, and basically that's it. So I might record me doing the morpher. I'm just going to hand paint it real fast, or I'm just going to work on the morpher, see if I can add some little tape pieces to cover up that design so I could just spray paint the morpher faster like I'm doing with the other parts. So like I said, I'm going to let this dry while I'm gone. I'll come back to the video. I want to get this done before 5:30, before everybody gets home, because I need to clean up this mess. So let it dry. I'll be back. I may or may not record the morpher part, but you know how the figure is going to turn up. So I will record the finished product with the morpher completely painted. So I'll be back, and you guys take care for one moment. Thank you. Alright guys, the figure is basically completed. I decided to paint the morpher manually. It was just impossible to do it in a spray paint because that design around that coin is just way too small. You know, you got to be microscopic and have a little tiny brush to paint it perfectly. I don't know if this is done by machine or by hand in factories, but let's continue on. Silver trim removed, polished the helmet, repainted the red diamond, touched up the mouthpiece, brought the silver more to the edge. The morpher painted gold. The Dragon Dagger holder painted matte black. Bottom of the boots painted glossy black. And that's technically it. The figure is done. I believe this is the best one I ever did, so this is going to be my official display figure. So comment below what you think about this video. I want to apologize ahead of time. I know you guys are going to leave me comments below. If I was off frame, my apologies. It's just that I needed to look really close to the figure. I didn't want to be on camera. I didn't want my face on camera. I just wanted to bring the figure close to my eyes so I could make sure the details were on perfectly. So if I was off frame, I apologize for that, because, you know, honestly, I wasn't doing step-by-step video, so I didn't need to be really close to it. I was just showing you what I did, and I tried my best to take the figure close to the lens, so you know what I was doing. I also want to apologize if I stuttered a lot. You know, just, I don't know why, but that's the way I talk. So I want to do, I say, about 2 more customs. And I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I'm going to give you hints. And if you're a true Power Ranger fan, you'll figure out what custom I'm going to do. So I'm going to get, you know, I'm going to use this spare Green Ranger I have that I messed up the boots on. So I'm going to I'm going to take the Green Ranger and one of the Putty Patrol figures and kind of blend it together just a little bit. It's going to be an easy, fast custom. You're probably thinking, wait a minute, Green Ranger mixed with the Putty Patrol? That don't make no sense. Well, if you're a true fan of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't, watch the show and figure it out. And if you know the answer, comment below. Also, I'm going to take another Putty Patrol figure and customize that. And I can't really give out too much details what I'm going to do about that, but if you know what I'm talking about, comment below. So there you have it, custom Green Ranger. That's how I did it. That was the paint that I used. Once again, comment below, let me know what you think about this video. If it was too long, my apologies. I try to make it short as possible, but there you have it. I wish this came in a single box so I could put it back, but you know, I might even consider buying 3 Putty Patrols, 1 to use to mix with the Green Ranger, 1 to custom, and 1 just to put back in the box, and just put that in the box and have a 2-pack with the custom Green Ranger inside. So you guys have an awesome weekend, whatever you're doing, enjoy it, and see you next time.